Welcome back to Point Blank. The latest we've heard, media reports have said that the Barisan Nasional has declared defeat in the by-elections in Permatang Pauh in Malaysia. More updates for you in a while after we get more updates from our correspondent on the ground right in the heart of Permatang Pauh, Ahiruddin Atan. That's right. But right now, more on the candidates. More on the candidates in the Malaysian by-elections. Malaysian correspondent Ahiruddin Atan also interviewed Arif Shah Omar Shah, the BN candidate, who is also contesting for the same seat that Anwar is in the Permatang Pauh, right? So let's take a look at what Arif Shah Omar Shah had earlier said about his edge over Anwar. Let's take a look.
First, we are very happy that the election process during the campaign is running quite smoothly, despite of there's a little bit of small trouble here and there. What I'm trying to say is the people of Permatang Pauh feel that the Barisan government, Barisan National Government, is a very responsible government, and lately they have seen that the Barisan National Government has given a lot of additional attention. Other than advocating for the Malays' rights, they are also giving additional attention for Chinese, Indian, and many other races requests. This has resulted in giving the what you say as impact towards the Permatang Pauh by-election, where we can see the support for the Barisan government has increased, resulting in, I believe, on this 26th, Barisan will be able to get a victory.
Thank you for talking to RazorTV. Can I start with asking you, ni hao ma?
How?
Huh? Okay, saya tak boleh. I can follow up the question because I don't speak Chinese. But you are known as someone who converses very efficiently in Chinese. Could you tell us a bit of that background of yours?
我是受华文教育，那么对我是华文比较方便啦，跟福建话也是会讲。现在我觉得我们的补选在Permatang Pauh区里面，就是一个很重要的补选。到现在为止呢，国政府呢，我是相信已经做得很多对人民服务，对三大种族，包括别的种族。那么为了这样呢，Permatang Pauh里的选民呢，觉得这次呢的补选呢，大家都很高兴的要支持国政，所以我相信这次呢，国政会赢这个Permatang Pauh的补选。那么他们就会有一个国政的代表国会议员，他们相信将久在反对党代表他们呢，对Permatang Pauh是有比较大的我有很多东西是拿不到了，是这样的。On this 26th, Barisan will be able to get a victory.
Okay, thank you. Your opponent, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, he also speaks a bit of Mandarin. How do you find his Mandarin? Does he need brushing up? Or?
In their campaign, there are also one subject they said. What's a big deal if Arif Shah can speak Mandarin? There are many people who can speak Mandarin. The only problem they don't understand is when I took my primary education in Chinese school, not only I learned one important language that is Chinese, I also have the opportunity to learn the culture, the way of life of the Chinese, making a part of their way of life and culture. I have become half Chinese, and that makes me easier for me to resolve their problem whenever they approach me. So there is a difference between a Chinese spoken and a Chinese educated
all right, okay. People. And then, Datuk, in your campaign, what were you telling the voters? Why should they not vote Datuk Seri Anwar?
Well, what we can see now is Malaysia have got a very good leader, Datuk Seri Abdullah and Datuk Seri Najib, and the cabinet members are good. Well, there are some weaknesses here and there, but this has been improved, and people have more confidence in Barisan government now. And therefore, in Permatang Pauh, what they need and lacking is the local representatives to give full attention to their problem. And therefore, they are not going to vote someone just for the sake of taking advantage of the Permatang Pauh by-election for personal glory and personal political agenda. The people of Permatang Pauh want a representation of member of parliament who really can service them. And because of that sentiment this time around, you can see that Barisan can win quite a comfortable majority.
But this is not just a local issue. If you beat Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, you are going to stop the person who said he will be Prime Minister in 20 days, September 16. Huh?
Yeah.
So if you win this is more than just a local fight for MPs. And you have a big burden on your shoulders.
Yeah, I know.
What does that make you feel?
When I have been nominated as a candidate, I assume that my candidacy is not me. It is it's a trust that the party has, and I have to try my best to deliver. Rather than other than local requests to have their representation, I have also responsibility. I also have responsibility towards the nation agenda, and therefore I must be extra careful in doing whatever campaign I do, so as it will give, it will enhance the campaign done by other missionaries of Barisan.
Thank you, Datuk. Thank you for talking to RazorTV.
Well, clearly, Mr. Arif Shah is pretty confident about the card that he's playing. Well,
but results show that
to gain the favor of the 25% Chinese population in Permatang Pauh for the swing vote. But while he's running really hard for the by-election, there's somebody else who's certainly been running around as much as he did in Permatang Pauh.
And that is DPM, Najib Razak.
That's right.
He's been travelling daily from KL to Permatang Pauh, since about 2 weeks ago, juggling between government meetings as well as house-to-house campaigning at Ground Zero. So we are lucky to have an exclusive interview with him as well. So let's take a look at this clip.
The first by-election since Malaysia's general election in March. It is also the biggest by-election in years. The dirtiest, the most significant, and we have the big players, all the big players in Permatang Pauh now, except the Prime Minister. I don't know where the Prime Minister is. He's missing it. Where's the Prime Minister? The Deputy Prime Minister is here. Of course, the former Deputy Prime Minister is here.
This is from the... so bad, Warrior, Pahlawan.
RazorTV was launched 2 weeks ago. So you are the first Malaysian... not Malaysian leader, the first Malaysian to be interviewed by the SPH, the people from across the causeway. Okay. Just a general question, and we can be... Actually, we would like you to be much casual. Okay. So, just a few hours to go before the polling, before this big by-election. What can you tell us about what has been happening on the ground in terms of the chances for Barisan Nasional against the advisor of PKR?
Surprisingly, it's looking better for Barisan Nasional than we started. When we started, very few people gave us any chance.
Right.
It was all along quite an uphill struggle for us. But as we went along, we found out that the ground was getting more and more receptive to Barisan Nasional. I think people are beginning to question certain things about Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. He has not been able to address all the issues that have been brought up by people like Isam, Nala Karupan, Anwar Shari, and of course by the whole thing about his problem with Saiful. So people are beginning to wonder what kind of leader that Sri Anwar is all about, or what kind of man is all about. Because if you are going to be a leader of a nation, which is what he wants to be, and he stated very clearly in his speeches and in the various flyers and billboards around Permatang Pauh, you must be beyond reproach. I mean, your credibility must be beyond question. Of course, people will try to cast aspersion about you, but there are remedies, that you can utilize.
What do you think? This by-election started off like most by-elections, but towards the end, especially in the last few days, we saw that there are a lot of attacks, personal attacks on you. You are not contesting in this by-election. Maybe you can explain the preoccupation.
I'm surprised, but I accept that he wants to make it very personal. It's obvious that he sees me as a major stumbling block for his to accomplish his personal ambition.
I heard from an opposition MP that your decision to go to the mosque and swore on the Quran has already reduced Datuk Sri Anwar's majority by about 5,000 votes as of last night. This is of course not official. This is just a bookie, the bookies odds and events. What do you think? Why did you decide to go to take that course? When you are innocent and you didn't do anything wrong, and somebody keeps on accusing you ad nauseum, you get to the point where you are totally fed up. That enough is enough. Okay, there must be a way in which you can tell to the people that, hey, look, I'm innocent. I'm not involved whatsoever. So that's why I decided that I should do it, and it was in the mosque when the thought came across that I should do it, and I did it. It was not planned, but I thought that was the best thing for me to do. But in the papers, we saw that today. We read that Datuk Sri Anwar said he is not going to swear on the Quran.
Well, I can't understand why he doesn't want to do it, because you can have doubt about the judiciary, you can have doubts about the Attorney General, you can have doubts about the police, you can have doubts about the doctors and the judges, whoever it is, but surely you don't doubt God Almighty. Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala will always be on the side of whoever is right.
There's another statutory declaration that says you are Hindu by practice.
My God, it's not worth me responding such rubbish and garbage.
Okay. There's if Barisan Nasional wins the Permatang Pauh, and the odds are still against Barisan Nasional, so it seems. What kind of changes and progress will you bring to
I think
Permatang
we are
Pauh?
talking in terms of the constituency, because this is a by-election. So by-election, you're talking about wanting to serve the constituency well. And we have a good candidate. We have a candidate who is proven. He can do the job. He's very accessible to the people. He is a very likable personality. And if we give him the full support, if the federal government gives him full support, I'm confident that he can do a good job as a member of parliament and transform this constituency. Because as I said, there are lots of areas in this constituencies that need to be attended to, which have not been attended to, despite the fact that Anwar was here and Datuk Wan Azizah was here over a long, long stretch of time.
And if Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim wins the by-election, he will go to Parliament, and he will have 20 days before he forms his new government, September 16.
Well, that's what he thinks, or he likes us to believe that will happen. But as you know, during this campaign period, we've received a lot of MPs from Sabah and Sarawak, including the Chief Minister of Sabah himself, and ministers from Sabah and even from Sarawak. And they've all given the undertaking that they will stay with Barisan. I cannot see that happening.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for speaking to RazorTV.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, Doctor, what do you make of, firstly, Arif Shah's playing up his Chineseness as his major playing card to swing votes in his favour for the fence-sitters, obviously?
Well, it's part of the BN ideology to use race, and they're still doing the same thing. So it's not surprising. It's just a bit sad that somehow the BN keeps doing the same thing, even in a new situation. And if I may put a remark on this, the bigger picture is that we're seeing, I think, the maturing of two sides. One is a more Malay ethnocentric system compared to a not a multiracial system, but a Malay-led multiracial agenda. And I think that's what's coming into being, and I think that's the bigger picture, and it might not come to fruition, but I think that's the process that's going on now.
Okay. How about the
Najib's comments, on
saying that Anwar and his wife did not do enough for Permatang Pauh? What do you make of it? Do you agree?
We are talking about constituency within a state, within a federal system that was under the BN. Now, without going into the details of all this, because I'm no expert at that, we have to see how much a local representative can do in a larger context. Now, if we take the period after 98, and Wan Aziza was the representative for Permatang Pauh. That constituency was under the Gerakan, which was in the BN, and the whole system was under the BN. So we have to consider that as well, and not just point to a constituency and say, oh, you guys didn't do anything. But the others are not free of blame, because they held the money, and they could have done something themselves. It's not only the constituency representative that has to do it. And during the period when they belong to different camps, then you would have a problem, right? We see that already after March 8, when Penang and certain states fell to the opposition, that certain federal funding was drawn back. So that part of the politics has to be considered as well.
Okay, and I've also heard from some Malaysian natives that, when Wan Aziza gave up her seat to her husband, it's like treating Permatang Pauh like a playground, for the family. But clearly the result shows that, this action doesn't really affect the votes that Anwar is going to get in the election. Yeah,
that's right. And the latest we have that from the wires, that Malaysia's opposition has claimed victory with Anwar.
Yes, okay.
Well, Anwar's People's Justice Party said he is expected to win at least 70% on Tuesday's vote for a seat in Parliament. And,
okay.
Well, Malaysia's opposition has claimed victory for Anwar Ibrahim already in these by-elections in Permatang Pauh.
Yeah, although we still don't have any official figures from the wires, I'm sure if you stay tuned for our RazorTV, top 5 news in the next hour, you will get some breaking news from us.
Yeah, so as the night wears on, there'll be more updates on the Permatang Pauh by-elections and the results. So yeah, stay tuned to RazorTV, because there'll be more coming up. Thank you very much, Dr. Wei, for being on our show and throwing so much light into this very important by-elections for both Malaysia and Singapore.
And we'd also like to thank our Malaysian correspondent, and of course, Raju and Yuji, who are running around with him on the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Eugene's a bit of a plug there.
Yeah.
Is the editor of RazorTV, and Raju is the head of our multimedia videographer section.
Team. Yeah.
And yeah, they're right there on the ground in Permatang Pauh, getting us the scoops, getting us the exclusives, and getting us, the insight into Malaysia, into the by-elections. So, well, that's it for tonight. Stay tuned to RazorTV for more updates on the Permatang Pauh by-elections, and find out.
Also join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for a look into Supernatural.
Well, last but not least, we thank all of you for staying with us because we enjoyed being point blank with you.
Bye-bye.